right, wonderful people, we are live again. For those who just joined us, Boy U-Turn platform. If you are new to this platform, feel welcome. The U-Turn is a platform that is empowering our communities through information sharing and resources sharing. We host discussion, live interviews, and storytelling to enlighten our community on issues that are current, on social issues that have been persistent and we want change, and on anything that we think can improve women and youth in our community who are the powerhouse. So today, really, we are very excited to have you join us. Ni kuna cha ben babda youth and yin ran with no power and energy to make positive impact on our community. So please go ahead and share this message so that it can reach many people as possible. We want many of us to make U-turn to be part of this discussion. And we always thank you for coming and supporting us. So thank you, thank you. Today, before Ben walk our topic, and our conversation is focused on Gen Z women and youth, young men. A very interesting topic and a message very strong ahead. But what you joined by a new person, maybe Nonko working, then can contingent. So this is the first time that he joined. Our community is increasing every day. People are liking the work we're doing. They want to be part of the movement, and we can be thankful and honored to have them join us today. So before we can dive into our topic of discussion, I would like to welcome Den Garangwe. Brought introduce now who he is, what he has been doing, and why he is excited to be part of the U-turn discussion today. So then what jam tong English. So chora love and introduce yourself to your people. There are already 10 people to show join. Welcome.
Thank you. Paul Philip in Jamot, Kujala, all the attendees, which are King Moth, Prin Chakaka, and it's all being Garanquay, and Membor, to enter Bor as I'm speaking to you. I'm joining the U10 Bor and Madin as I'm speaking. So briefly, and Brolwil Mat, Pachete di Lawai, education background and agricultural economists, an evaluation, monitoring and evaluation specialist. In the background, yeah, can long lawyer until we want development practitioners till we want Catholic Relief Service. And as I'm speaking, and I'm self-employed and co-founder and country director Combat Hunger in South Sudan. It's a youth-led organization purposely empowering youth in agricultural production. That's what I'm doing currently. Long when Chalwell and Chilu on developmental projects, when Kichan Niara Retien joining the U10, because U10 is basically looking at youth empowerment. And when we talk of youth, it is inclusive. So it has both men and women, young men and women, boys and girls. So, and my organization is actually founded on youth empowerment. So one of the key things that actually made me join the UTAN and to at least hear from your stories and also share my insight. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dengara, for joining and thank you for the excellent work you are doing. So today's topic on Gen Z is really, what you have been doing, and I would want to just dive into it. This topic was suggested by one of our co-hosts, Aichi Awatodana, and I am really excited she did that because it's very, very timely. And so our first question, Kuwekoda, thank you for joining. Please share the message and tell us where you are joining from. And if you have any question for Ding or for Aichi or for other U10 members who want to join, please put it in the chat. Kaba share. Thank you. We're going to go along who agreed. Your participation is welcome. You are more than like us work out on the screen. So knowledge are everywhere. So then the question I will in this age where Gen Z across the world, are defining freedom and self-expression. I think they are very energetic on TikTok. Why do you think that in the context of our community, why do you think early marriage and polygamy are being rebranded or even being glamorized. Okay, the best thing. Are we witnessing maybe going back to the culture, reclaiming our culture, or is it a survival strategy or a symptom of deep socioeconomic challenges, especially in the context of women, who work and families big everything. In case all I will can and I share you will follow. Take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Paul Philip Jelako Dai. Yeah, Ian Wob are so generic because it is an open discussion. So we may not be so specific when we are giving our answers. So we'll be more generic. Reason being, we are brainstorming. So cái chi nghe đi thì yin ka bi nghe yin ka belwel wo wadia ku na jal ku loto kala ke that is where we will now get to the U-turn. What is the U-turn from the discussion? Yeah, question jati je very insightful. Ku ke question un core a lot of because cái niềm go here ku bu kan de te jawel what culture is còn ake truyền in ka banen gol te non koy won ping tong jiang ke yena yu kere lula ke culture. So right now culture is no longer an English word, but it is something that has actually gone to an extent. Even my own mother, who is not educated, will always say a culture, right? So we wanted to know the context, what is actually the culture. Then Nachunyi, what culture is, okay, we also wanted to understand what the Dinka culture was saying about polygamy. That is number one. And then what will do here now, and we looked at the current context we are in. Then we related with how our tradition was actually perceiving polygamy and how we are perceiving it as the current generation and how it is being rebranded. You look at that. So naga len kiki chol culture to win yen koi ki yen ke chieng thing. Kuti yen ke chieng thing yung yen dictates. It is actually dictated by their environment. To win yen rare ke thin. Itu rare ke thin culture nong ikajwi. Culture nong itok. Anong ich dear yen dear. Anong jala de ke chieng. Ku kanong ich kawin ye ke king ke ka ku karaj. Ka ke bana ka to within the culture. So when you looked at it simply in English, culture is generally a concept of that encompasses the social behavior of particular people. So that is what the culture is. Now, na tingu yen ke chol culture or yen cheng yen ko cheng erod gear after some time. So basically, it is dynamic, ke static. Yen kwarko ku duge man kole ku birut be jor ci man ku kwar di ran chol ku banu ko yen ke kwar di die ku jorot man kole ke kare chen ku le chai men wende ku ko tong yan jam ri renum abe alu abe lo be dorati ku le ran e moñ bor because tok error war in ge chang cheng woni ko cheng error war kay ke cham error war. So basically, we moved from our ancient culture to something that is completely different, which is hard to define. So in get when in wealth in based on the culture. Nala bentin ke chol ger when in culture in rod gear through social interaction. Koi win ci be yu ke yin ci la reer ke yin ci man tok na ca la reer wen ko ci jam tong ke yin to ke yin ba nom dil mar tong du na lor ko ji ko win cham mi ke ci ke cham ke yin to ko ci any other means of survival ke yin dil cham ka ka. So definitely you will get assimilated to that specific culture. From my own experience, Nanchilo Pane Chol Pajut in 2022, supervising final evaluation with Catholic Relief Service. Nalar Pajut, Kakoito Pajut, anong several villages that are around Pajut. Ku villages ka kagaduk. Koito Tina I Kodu, I Nyarwing in particular. But now when Jal, I went to another place which was actually 4 hours from Pajut. Kote Chol in a Chol court. Nalar Tin Kan Long Jalu interact one Koito and Tongi Ke Jam, I jam Tong Pe, I jam Tong. The names I kaganware. Lekin ki e chol piny kujela ke they believe ke kai jiang. Nala I interacting with them wo ke ti yak lwele yak jiang wa de rina che ka jiang to ke che kre jiang. And yung wi chi we post chan ba to ba war ko barin ba ke war. There was one simple answer they gave me, which was actually satisfactory. It was satisfactorily answered. I am yog will cut
Okay, you then going to Louis Pros or my side. Okay. Maybe book cameras what happened to book team or your data bundle. Okay. We've lost him, so Chiao, in Bachol, and welcome Dorcas for joining. And thank you so much, Emmanuel Solomon, for joining and your comment. Kwenukek, thank you, Alir Mayula, and everyone that is participating. Comment section, Nelly Kenway. Watch it then, you lose, but we have a team, we will be back. So I tell you can be topping you can be in the alwar, you very passionate about it. So question then get an answer is that this new thing, Gen Z by the way, I talk this from 96. Be chen I chabam tin de ke to in the 20s ko chen war ya ke ja ke ka ko ver no gua yom yo right now walk millennial from 95 do chen what is the what in our 30s so so we are the one now devising. So here the question was asking, in the early marriages, kujaya, this culture of being traditional wife, or it's a big thing in our community, women, especially young women. We go called soft life, thing it's a big deal. So I want you to try to answer it from your perspective. It's been glamorized on TikTok, on social media. I think I just said, is this a way of going back to our culture, to the root? Or is it a survival strategy where life is hard now, it won't do the time call when no can come? Or a symptom of deeper socioeconomic issues? And you can draw from your economic background to explain this. Take it away.
Adit Kujala Kwalku Koito on on the other side of the screen which I gave more. I will really try to be calm because energy of the cameras guys. But yeah, this topic Rita and Chobonyal is something that I have realized over the past year or over like and most of the time I spend my time on TikTok, can we get in business, or I want to create other content. But what I realized, it's not good. And now, I remember back in the days when Gen Zs in Kenya were protesting against finance bills, right? I was so impressed with how these young people took up the fight and the way they narrated, they break down the finance bills. They really educate me, and I think they really educated a lot of other people too. And that's when I began to be critical about what we share on social media, especially Gen Z's, our people. So that's when I started contrasting, like you could share, you could share, and when I saw you could share, I was so heartbroken because especially young girls, I think our content is more of ayaya, do your nail, put on your wig, and zero on it, and that's what the whole content is, especially for us. That's the whole content for everyone, and that's when I began to like think critically, what is going on? Where are we heading to? We are heading to a wrong direction because this. Okay, ding event I want ding be really be jam first because I can't on the ground, and then I'll come. Continue, ding.
Yeah. So sorry, guys. I got booted out by the internet. Am I clear? Are you getting me?
Yes, still clear. Your story told you know about you people culture. You were questioning, culture change there.
Thank you. Google yen tinin ka ancestral land. Ku koike aya du ko thio can walk. So for us to survive in this place, we had to get assimilated. Go are intermarriage with these people. That is how the name changes. Lekin penyeka da work generally why jeng kuten gana chulo buwan. But nalwel ku buya is sticking to buya jeng, then kunong jeng nong mishkila kene koke completely we will get wiped out. So we did it purposely as a mean of surviving in this place. What am I driving at? How culture change can Karva drive. Now move on to today's question, which was very interesting. Today's question, when the jam kulwela, you can repeat the question.
So the question is, now Gen Z are defining freedom and self-expression. And in the
Yes.
context of our community, what is being, shared across all the channel, what we are seeing, our observers, is that young people are glamorizing, this early marriage. Like this, in a young, beauty, it's a big deal. Polygamy too now a big deal. Big, big, I can't be jam. I just go thing on online and in person.
Mhm.
Everyone can have models who represent countries and social you know uh, who promote the beauty of a country. They are even being part of this polygamy rebranding. So the question that the U10 is asking is that, are we witnessing a reclaiming of our culture, like going back to the culture, then where polygamy, early marriage life was good, or is it a survival strategy, or no other socioeconomic
Okay.
pressures that we are not seeing?
Thank you. Yeah, Ian and Vijala giving my insight. I'm Vijala Duchian to the question. One, Kibukanyi like what is the perception of our tradition when it comes to polygamy? Then, what is the current perception, and what is leading to, and as we are seeing the role of the social media, uh, what do we look at this? Yen when we get back to the olden culture, kake chol polygamy, te yen ko yen perceived thin, or te yen to yen thin, yen a perceived a sign of wealth and prestige when you looked at it. Ranong diar juj, kukanong mid juj, kukanong hojuj kutujuj was the wealthiest man. That is according to the tradition, which was not basically for Dinka, but practiced in most of the African cultures. That culture Lui persisted. Let's say maybe up to 17th century, it was still there. Na lokun bu yoken ke kata manada ke yen ran jiku ay ni mit to ken yen ku diar to ken yen. That is the general concept of what polygamy is. Na ber Kayen culture a lui change man when channel cultures change based on the social interaction. What you pay way panda in Kato wig in the Western world, Quran, Chirena Nichilo B ku berbela do. So I actually asked Anchi Berbe Ajang when you beramo and Bor as I was. And Moinbor when you lose socialize with Kenyans and other and people from other regions. So definitely my culture has changed. When we looked at it, the current generation, starting from me, we perceive polygamy as a burden, especially when we looked at the economic perspectives. I'm an economist, like actually we are economists. And when you allocate resources, assume you are having 10 wives, who maybe your income, you are maybe if you are the richest, if you are well paid, maybe you are getting, let's assume $5,000 per a month. That's your monthly income. Now divided among the 10 women, take a long economic burden on you. That's our perception. Why the current generation? You can talk. Now, just to the question. The question is, are we reclaiming our culture when we see this rebranding and all this? Let me say definitely yes, we are reclaiming the culture. One, na long giang fair, kalwela yen nyan ji pyo chi mama de ji nye pyo, ku ka chi baba de ji nye pyo, has to be within that culture. Eting riu rot, riu kwat, ku ka riu chengde. So ladim dil law keni cheng win to win fair getting up dil perceive getting nyika. Definitely for one to be perceived ke ran nyika, you have to stick within your culture. So na lot diar aji diar chiror ken pol bithi getting you the pol bithi is definitely reclaiming the culture. She wanted to be within the culture. So I may say definitely there is a cultural pride within this aspect. So we are trying to maintain our culture where we are going to be perceived as people who are knowledgeable and as people who are keeping our culture intact without being eroded by the Western culture. So that is one question. And it's definitely rising, like as you have seen Loirot Ranju Jared. So it is very important. Now look at how it is being rebranded. One thing is there chiang erot gear kawani ke chiang ala duni ke chiang ku dieruni ko dier erot gear. So nothing dear in ko dier on TikTok. Actually I'm not there, but I see the things, the one that are shared on the Facebook. I watch them at a time and free. Kakating, there is a bit of change. We have a mixed culture of Arabs and maybe whites. Now, Lord, good thing to our weddings in Kegluth in our they are not actually traditional, they are not modern, and they are not really Arabs. So it's a confusion of mixed cultures. So na le ting kaka e ting pet because ke pet ke when ki ko juir ti chen ke ken juer ti ken ke jira loy when it comes to rebranding. What is the role of social media? In social media, no, it's actually a double edge. When we looked at the social media, it is double edge. It is both misleading and empowering. The social media itself, based on the contents that are created. So when you look at the contents, the wedding, a lavish wedding thrown out in what am I saying, in Freedom Hall and Kenkala, because I don't attend weddings. I only attended one, Kuwar Mariarake, as one of the best men. So I don't attend those weddings, but I see them being advertised. So it is enticing. Na ting nyan titet kur kaka tinge ke piet, and she would always wish can do tiaga thinking. So it is actually promoting. Uh, it is promoting that culture in that lavish weddings. It is one role that social media is playing. Another thing is what we are doing now, advocating for a U-turn. You looked at that. anong ran be ping anong ran be criticized. So in that is how I can say definitely there is a cultural pride, and us promoting polygamy is a way of us reclaiming our culture. But when we looked at it, as I said, culture is not static; it is dynamic. So how do we contextualize it, the current culture and the olden culture? How do we make them come together and maybe creating a culture which is completely different from what we initially had? It's confusing to describe the culture that we are in. It's a mix of the olden culture and the current one. A first question again, whether it is we are reclaiming, whether we are reclaiming our culture. The second one being a survival strategy. Let me say it is definitely yes. It is a survival strategy. As I mentioned, I'm currently fighting for youth empowerment to leave idleness and maybe dirty their hands to do something that they can survive. In South Sudan, there is a high rate of unemployment for youth. You see, anong ko you nong masters nong ko nong PhD, and they are completely unemployed. Therefore, I can job opportunities. That is for men. Definitely, young people ko when chimana yinyalwel chikina de suppose with the agran warinde, right? But ran warinde it's absolutely poor. Is in abject poverty, is languishing in poverty. Keran definitely may not be a suitor. So can be nyan thin be la pira pet, kubu ko pande ni pira pet, she will definitely go for a person to will go loy who kanong pande. Either nong diarge de nong diarge de, that is it is not really important. But beloto to pet bichangalan pet ku bikin mit bicham, it's actually a priority. E nong nya kana te nong ko ji nyir di ti manen ku cha nyan di ja di ke definitely ke nyan ke na karen malo ko chan ban pir yen ga yen we ke tinga nong ko e ga tieriet ko nong ko ti ga duken, right? ku kanong ku kanong ko won ti ke wu ju jaret ko ho ju jaret, definitely the wealth will come from this young lady. So ke yen abdil kor by all mean be nyan ken bu tiagra nong ka whether kur kachidir, it is not really important. I read a story actually about 3 days ago. A girl principal of Loreto Girls. She's from Irish. She's called Sister Ola. Sister Ola wrote something, and she actually brings in a testimony. Nyan tini to the kule jiten kagara Loreto. Nyan tin kena achen ba mama de nyin jal ku kato ken baba de ku mi da kai ken. So ku ke pire jarier na ji pire rier go mon di go nyan tin be nyan be ran be nyan tia go ke tero go kor chano ken ke tero abu ke di loide abu ke dil bete ben ga mit ke mu chan ting de liu or bu ting de be tia ting be mi won che dong bu ke mu go nyan tin go tia. Now, Lord, school administration are learning about what had happened. Go committee kwan ku leke nong ran bi la jam ke yen. Go la lu le yen an chi ting de to kwan ji dung wan mit ku yen a chin de dien to. So I did not have any other option. This was an absolute option for me. E ba nyan ken ba tiak chan bu mi da kai ken ki dung bu ke mu. You looked at that. Nyan ken tiak, she did not continue with her education. So definitely, forcing girls to tiak, I may definitely agree that it is a survival strategy in South Sudan. That's what I have learned from experience, and I've also learned it from interacting with several cultures. Kene, eketo. So now by in the banin finalize, chanan bear rate, and I may take a lot of your time. Ke cover finalize by looking at the symptom of a deeper social economic pressure. So when we looked at the socioeconomic pressures, we have the aspect of social life and the economic life being put together. One, when we looked at the system we are in, one on weak institutions. We have weak institutions, both legal and maybe, yeah, both legal. We may say the customs, quanta there may not. They really don't look at empowering girls. That one is an existing uh, uh, institution. Then when we looked at the legal institutions, we are not really looking at our judiciary system. There is no enforcement of laws that are actually there. Human laws on early marriage, laws on forced marriage, they are actually there because South Sudan is part of the international. They are looking. They are also implementing international statutes like the human rights and things to do with girl child rights and all this. Lekin, our legal institutions are not really allowing us to enforce these laws. Kakata. Social media also adds pressure. Human when advertising the glamorous weddings and all this. It will be enticing. Kutingi nyati, warinde tiawar, chen wedding loy. Definitely at the fireplace in the evening, bima mate belakin, and not really following our education. But every ngadi in Gigabelakin. So that is adding uh, a social pressure. Then the limited representation, maybe having an alternative path. Human watching a good education system that is actually empowering girls. Such things are limited. Who our community, it's a mix. Human when channel way. So Sudan and Umriel generally. One on koke bo Arab, koke bo by Panijian, koke bo uh, in the Eastern Africa. So koi ka ben ku ka chen achi liam num ku chen enum jari yer dele. So achi nyi yetan ku ben latin yetan ku ben latin. So definitely finalizing my remarks on this, there is an aspect of reclaiming culture. There is an aspect of strategy to survive, and there is also an aspect of socioeconomic pressures being added on girls. So in get to win Lebanon both in from my interaction, and that is Chalwelun and we are more generic. I'll not be so specific because I'm not so much into anthropology and culture, but I'll give my understanding based on how I have interacted with people. So thank you, Auntie, too long.
No, no, no. You're very empowering and inspiring. Many people in the comment section, you only young chol, you garang, kur unique, and Bella Mandela and Solomon. Everyone else is just shouting, out for you and all the point. So thank you. Why honored to have you in the room. And
Thank you.
welcome to
Thank you.
my colleague actually worked took high school together. We pursued opportunities together, and he's doing advocacy for youth and women just like myself. So I'm always honored to have my colleague join me on this advocacy and join hand and voices. So thank you for sharing your perspective. Actually, we also very economists too, and actually we economists and advocate. About Paul, we could have been no much opinion. I share what inspired you to bring this topic on, and I then can do like I'm getting I share. I can do like a cultural thing. These early marriages and glamorized polygamy and traditional wife system and everything. I look at it's cultural way of things. People want to go back to the culture, reclaiming the roots. And it's a viable strategy because Kang I'm a young on the ground. And of course, there are deep social issues and structural issues that make it the only option. Because ni writing an option. So of course, to jab at the end, you will agree, you will disagree, and what do you want to add? Dorcas in Mukutu be Martinia. I don't want to assume that in the Kurvala via traditional wife to a polygamy money, no. I want to go to freedom world. Take it away and Kian very jarwe.
Being internet, I really wanted you to give your insight on this topic because in Kerant on the ground. Kayu cake betting a second-hand information you could betting on TikTok, and as I said before, I had been so critical about our Gen Zs and what they are presenting on social media when you contrast them to other Gen Zs like the one in Kenya. The one in Kenya right now, ake ka lui finance bills, ake ka lui breakdown. Keka non topic, any topic to be either political, economical, or social wise, ake ke lui breakdown. But when you come to our Gen Zs on TikTok, yeah. Number one, especially Nainya, nails, landu banyating and all these, and that's where I began to think there's something wrong. And then kujalati get jalalabi. And I tell Louis break down so well. I tell Louis break down so well, but I have I agree with most of your points. But the thing is, Gen Zs are quite a bit 1997 to 2012. These young people, majority of them, they were not even born in South Sudan. Quite the cake money, will call la yom, quite a deep cake, let's say, majority East Africa or wherever 10 cake thing. So, where this idea of reclaiming my culture came from, that's where I want to put the culture thing aside and really focus on the survival strategy, kujala social pressures, especially social pressures, economical pressures. Because naye culture, they don't even know when they don't know dinner each work in a cake. They don't even know these are young people that were born recently. Kwa cake right now, a cake a pitch rurke. Diar arurke diar cake ya kwa cake a yeah, because most of the time we always blame men. Beku arur a cake but these girls too, they have hands in it. Kadang rebrand on social media ke wife material kuting rur cake leke tiak. So this is where I begin to think like anong kichukulwe left out ke I think we are lacking role model representation because kwachi ria kwalman kujala dich kujala yindinga, you guys are not in the picture. But the people that are outside there are quite know that they have made it in life. And by the way, I came to realize the idea of making it in life among our people and especially among these young Gen Zs ages. Nobody is aspiring beyond ayaya, kuuntinye juiri, kunel sticker tau ichin, kujala $100 dun between. Nobody is dreaming or aspiring beyond that. This is different from what we were. I remember, like in our generations, be getting number two will be because Tiaka is very young, Achito more than now, Chloe. So I would really want us to like focus on that because now culture, these are people that do not know culture. I quite these recently. So I would really want us to focus on the current social pressures. Actually, I got to win, but I will tell you guys, Aninya, and I know. So um, pressure I just men chi ko ja na chong lon chen ran chen en nio pande ke chen ke to kunong nya dun to nya ne ka yui chirke yen chi luom pin kuna no mun ben kalwel gal ka gamien I have even seen people na nyadi in bear chikola out of yet kwenye wang yana ayudom sura kutewa yang mtwing biya yen kedang e chol no lu ya yen ka ya do lu ko nim twing. Sometimes they even send pictures. I swear to living God, they send pictures. This is another level of desperation koi to be anything, but I would just blame it on poverty. Which again brings me to like before working on poverty to working a year more than what we are in today. But we never stoop so low to the point whereby work a kick working here for work tartring. So I would really focus and say that the the rebranding of marriages and glamorization of marriages and the life because I know nyire ke tau tikit, but I know nyire tau tikit. And now the idea of success to our young people, beranang niempiat, beranang etolmo, beranang niempiat banangon piat dun chijuirit, kubananga landun piat chijuir, but this is where the problem is. And if we are going to discuss and tackle this issue, then I think we have to like redefine the success, the whole idea of success, what success really means, right? And what and after Jen Walker will redefine what success is, then the second thing that we need to do is to have representation out there, role models that are doing so well in their lives. Role models ke near abala be ke near because platform ekri near ku jala youth. Role model near non kalo ke pide because baby. But the thing is, in our community right now, na yimenya kuyini ko bara baby to maintain war baby kon ya you get a lot of criticism from our society. Yin all bitter, a yin ke feminist, a yin ke homebreaker, a yin ka toxic, you know. And I think this is one of the reasons why Chen Koiro Ketera Guantian because you like Anchikur be here, lalwe criticize, be here, lalwe drama. And now the people that are on social media, ke role models, are koi will keep you can year alone, Ben Keka, oh my god. Ben keke guanye wa kuwa kuro piny ago kuro go keke lui attract. Ake koi yimit yen keke lui grow up and they see them. Another people they see are koi che quick money chike you through men, right? So a girl you grow up and your idea of getting to the idea of getting to success bayaran kolanga it's you know what I'm just gonna look cute and look for a man. This is where the problem is, especially for us Kawaii. This is where the problem is. Women or these young girls, they are not dreaming beyond looking good kujala we would be rich. And so well we need representation, role models, Bikro Baby, Biki Jam, so that we can change the narratives of what success is really is, because our society is rotten. And then number two, number three, I don't think Yekilibukulu because Yenekin Chokakane, Koyoti, could dear Pio, Chico, the ticket outwing, and now Nyadun chatting, Yinka eating Chirkachir na chin ke be ba ka lwel gal chirio well yin chi pio ten pin well you know maybe na ale bitom ro kwenge school ti again because a lot of girls will ke mane gal let's say a call ka lo PhD de ko non ka geg lo ke go ready e go lo ni tim chu ke get ke tin galam ti chen mama de ke du baba de you ti ki yo na adiga ki lo make it. So I really want us to na no random being I really want us to forget about the culture because these Gen Zs they don't even know where can work in. There is pressure outside there.
No, thank you, Akia. And I want it to be interesting. We had debate some color do not danger. ku ba jabe na ngini dorcas so thank you ke highlight ni chit ke den garang ya ka cha reclaim your culture cha cut away so you den in by yen 1 minute bina depend but before that I want to echo no ke chia no ko nyiti a ke kata you know nyiti under 20 yeah, you know who idea ka we have been going live every day because Kwaru is very beautiful and very expressive and very brave. And what you said, any kid who are and yes, you and a Louis post Kulella, dear, I bear life rule, but I can't work a problem. Actually, dear, can have problem, can have problem. Because can you think, can I roll a page, a chair, or a bang so I emphasize what I conclude actually you think are very brave and they reach out to this man actually and they promise them great things just like you are here urban for Brian in them and then walk him is skinny ben but you think they can go and brand themselves okay why material no we don't know area but and then when I get and get the way and jam wouldn't I be a your man be then kind of yellow or like it can't be think with a balari mi to ani aka yini musul ka je woni
Sharing is caring.
well, you think that tira kwale Philippi and again guru kungo kalu no la Africa banu la fresh na ler ka bela the same so I can good book and you see a cool depend attack comment section when you see na what you were there but to me I don't mind you know what you are doing and I survival strategy economic pressure whatever I don't mind and opinion lo ngakulu but I check you I feel well Teacher your canto way, which I won't be dangerous be emphasized, and we're quite you watching about early marriage among Gen Z, which they are glamorized polygamy among Gen Z. Like I don't think a Gen Z men mostly polygamy. But I really want to ka tiang ni ti ke Gen Z. And actually there is cultural aspect to it because culture then there work all polygamy a prestige a chirba jalo PhD ku ba ja ye Nobel Prize na a system then western world so we are community and ko ja ti ko ku ya big ya Maria I always no powers. I can't read. I can't mal, and I can use society. So those people are still in our midst today, and they are showing off their powers. By and you feel like them, they want to be part of that beautiful polygamy cultural thing, pride. So, but I just no. It has nothing to do with culture. When who are enjoying this, they don't even know culture. So then that Luar at clarify that before Ben Wall or Nong Dorcas perspective here.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Paul Philip, and also Achia Dorcas, Kujela, our listeners, Koito on the forum. Yeah, yin che dua piat, who when they can do it. I'm also reading I'm also looking at the comment sections. Naba Bentin ke a little about an aspect of culture, of reclaiming culture. Is it just come in like cuman yini na chiao I'm very sure you tiak chan na ran chi chol pin ti man bior in the comment section and it's someone who is also protesting maybe anon pio ti cuman dia so it's protesting the aspect of culture cuman when channel what they are actually in every family na lor ku yok bai wundi kaya bai wun kin ga diar tiak tin ke so the community, I am proud of how big they are. Kiman anywhere in Ping anong yikong wounded, kukanong ying adian wounded. All these one they came in through BRB when you came here because you get a quite coach, you get a quite deep. In get chang meet the beating to get deep, I kill a BRB get deep. If you get back to the olden days, quite that. Sorry for that. My internet is misbehaving, so you will forgive me. You'll forgive me for that. The internet is not stable.
What become
Yen,
as but of man.
ikeneto. Yes, ikenato. Na ye tingwe nang pio be perceive keys within the culture kaka deal mo inda deal pol bethi. One aspect again. Yen ke chang ran thi nun kor be culture de be reclaimed kaka deal thi. Yen kulan at my workplace, the environment I was in, because angel with the can chill and Louis. I was working when I'm married. So aburo yene go within ranong ting to within the working space I chola my will go. So uh, so when you are tired, to chinkuraya my will go, maybe you will have a second thought, or maybe adding someone on, adding someone within your family. And so elon union ngadi in ko influence reclaiming the culture kana nabala ben ker chia about the current Gen Zs who are not even aware of the culture. Actually welun kulala yen culture is static, it's not dynamic. And in culture and in culturation through learning, people learn cultures. You are not born with your culture, you learn it. So, and it is actually is an ascribed status. Ichichiran IQ when you can run. So the environment you grow up in will always influence you. Definitely, the Gen Zs are part of the current society to work in, which is advertising marriages on Facebook. So how do you expect them to be left behind when they are within the culture or when they are within the environment where they are actually learning? So they are ascribing status ke quite of people who are existing. Nabala Ben, I agree with you on one point.
Tikek.
I
Yeah,
think
as I mentioned, yeah, sorry for that. As I mentioned earlier, culture will change with the generation. Kimana bo kwar ko mana ka lul ko hai ko pe ai che ko a good be wo be a ti ja tong do ni we ja me tong bor. They can say that. Definitely they will do that. Chan pin din a wa ke pin da. Yen ke chang pin ni ko be ben abu wo ke pin do wo tin man ti okay. So there is always a bridge moving from one culture to another. There is always a bridge. And what is that bridge? Bridger and Wentum Jidum, who has actually been acquiring wisdom. Can wisdom may acquired through experiences? In getting wisdom in your thing, no one is born wise. So you learn to be wise depending on how you have encountered several events. In pure. So nanong rantung when you do get bridge between the other generation and this generation. Kiman work we are not actually Gen Zs. I may say we are millennials. Who work anong ko ke yuk ke ko ka wo wan. So a walk a bridge between the current Gen Zs kujela koi war jelo when a bit of a yesterday's culture and a more of today's culture. We're looking at that. So Kayan Ghana agreeing on you, we should not actually rule out or maybe paint polygamy to be bad as we looked at it. Definitely we will be in conflict with our culture. We'll definitely be in conflict with our culture. But the bits of yesterday's culture, how do we balance it? In more important, we in a point of empowerment in Bentham. So we need to weigh these things, like what are the merits and what are the demerits of polygamy, and how does polygamy fits into our current situation or the current generation, and how do we do it to either benefit us or not. So the aspect of empowerment comes in. Chimani nyir when we can that Nyirai problem. You are actually now saying Nyirai problem, but I don't agree with you on that point. Nyir anong a part of it, anong a contribution. Chan nyaben nyar, tigben not actually including you. I'm very sure I people who are either successful in one way or another. Either Iran garapiat. So, like I know Akwali is one of the best brains I've ever encountered on the work of Kule. So therefore, Akwal will always associate with someone who is also having the best brain. You looked at that. So ke chol dior ban e loj ku ke pia den ke critic. Ran ke ta piat yen ke mo ke ta piat yen ke mo dia.
Hey, Dengja.
Yeah, internet you all let down, but it is good. Again, well, I know where they are, way like. I thought walk for waiting it, and I don't know.
Iran ke kai lo chia nyan ma, ke kai lo chia. Chiran chili.
Before when Ella Bena and
Iran chili ya jamana ran bere le.
Oh, didn't you go to I don't their car why you wait, Lord?
before Ben and Ben Abu Wadir, and I think I know where he's driving, or I guess where he's driving to. So I tell well when I tell well culture dynamic it will change. And culturally polygamy was practiced because Kojake kor benang wealth, and wealth was viewed in terms of midgak diargak. Achan diar ku abului bai mid ku abla yap mir ku abiket yak and all that. So we agreed on that. But as we speak at the moment, culture, as we speak at the moment, should the culture not change, given the circumstance, like given the economic orientation toward working right now? Because right now, I believe it's quality over quantity. And the people that are practicing polygamy, by the way, these people, they are not actually koi kilo school it. Akotilo school it, akotiri pan Medina, and they know the pressure that comes with living in Pan Medina because of capitalism, right? We know that, but yet they still go kuleke baden chiku wana yiku wan kuleke baden leke diet. The reason why I'm saying that the rampant polygamy, glamorization of marriages and life, it's not culture. We blame on culture so that we get to justify our, we get to justify the act, but it's not the culture because to begin with, culture on ye na tiag diarku ke juje ake ye ke ye bai kurer ke pantu ben ku and all these. But these polygamy right now, you look with Tiaka, you don't even have a house to begin with. Whatever that you have, Jalawan, and if we are talking about the guys, Jaltane Kulekatika, majority majority of them are working a big apartment. Kurane Jaltane, Kulolo Thick. So this is not to say that maybe in their mind they think it's culture that they are practicing, but in actual sense, it's not culture, right? And now, I do not think these girls are doing it because it's culture. I believe they're doing it because uh, there's pressure. As I said before, the idea of success to the Gen Zs, because if you contrast our generation, millennial, kujala ke Gen Zs, One, we started from humble beginning. Waka yala nyujikira ngajir nim, and then we write, and but we had big dreams, working on dreams that I was that I'm gonna be this, and I'm lawyer. Let me give you my example. One, I was when I was in high school and primary, I will Galen and Clendy and London. After high school and London, I'm going. Quay I don't really know the DNP. I don't really. I will love for in. Tida bata nong to the where people will think that I'm bragging, but this is where I am coming from. My problem is our Gen Zs right now, I think focus is to what they want in life, except looking good and having nails and looking for men to marry them. This is where my problem is. Because if the current Gen Zs are a future of the tomorrow, if their current dreams or if the aspiration is just short, something that you can do for yourself, even without having bala skuli jile baiti ri kwali bakalo ku loiniem du kujero nduich. If that's what they're aspiring, then we don't have future, right? And this is where I come in. This is where I come in. This is where I'm saying the Gen Zs are not doing as much as but really the Gen Zs are not doing well. They're not doing well. Na berku bela ben Gen Z's ke rural, what you go to focus on on near. Le wa ben Gen Z's ke rural, if you see their activities on TikTok, be kidang be ki nyir be ke loy target ni to tene ni to ai ro diari ke tin ke ye kidang ke ye single moms lu ke ga approach in the inbox kujiran go wel korin ku go live. Others I have no shame, they just enter your account your private messages and ask you for money. And then when you see their content a big DRB ke glater will be ke telat among themselves. Nabar Kirijan had broken the most. Nabar can ideas. Let's say Tuman ideas kwan ke yutan, or you come with a very good topic that is pen like a topic that you feel like a little bit leonim could be quite brainstorm and things to do with life, social life or economic life or political wise. You come with such topics. They are clueless. Gen Zs are clueless. You come in a band. I swear to living God. I created my account on TikTok Bel Babia Jam Wilke Eid because I was so inspired by Gen Zs in Kenya. I'm like if they can change the narratives and come up with this revolution. We went to Nigeria. We saw what Gen Zs in Nigeria did too, right? I'm like in South Sudan. We can. I thought I would get some few people there. Ke Luya Shajau. Okay, yung ikiloy, people comment with love emojis, and you are talking serious matters. Kulwele sweetie. Exactly. Like, okay, you are commenting about how I look. I'm trying to talk about serious issues here, right? And this is where now I came in and I'm like, there is a problem. During our time, we were aspiring so big. And I think that's why we made it to, like, I'm not saying that Chukwu make it in life, but at least we made it to university, which before, a year very good and a year quite young, a year long, a big deal, many level, right? But we made it, book ben and numda, teacher and to our and this is where I'm saying Gen Zs are lost, and we need representation. We need role models, Beben, because I think we grow up looking social media, and then they see social media and then every life that we curated. And I blame myself too, by the way, because there were time I was so obsessed with fashion. I would just post sheer fashion and all these, and I think now sitting down and tiara and it and reflecting, I'm like, oh shoot, maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have been representing like more to what I am, maybe by Adam Surakanto Schoolage or Bakati Luake, Bakialo Luake, maybe you will have inspire other women, right? Koikogi and Tinti. Because now Nithike or Gen Z's are dear Kulunki social media, and when they come to social media and when a life that will curated, it glam happen. And because now the quick way to get that glamour, it's to find a man, you have to like look good. You start by looking good, and then put out on social media. Yeah, do you open by the way? Yeah, well, gale, and lonely anything in a wife material. We dergal do will you lord do to you open. The next thing you see in Chitiak, this is where I'm coming in, and this is why I'm saying, I culture. Not that I don't believe culture has part in it, on the side of the men, I think maybe in their head, well, girl, okay, I'm practicing our culture, but they are doing it wrongly though, because culture ware na jadi aku tiaga ikat gam pandin ku gam ke equal resources, but right now ngai chuaren ku chuar ngeten ku jak logrom. I recently had that datu na janum chuch kanong tien rule moyen ke reti ni iro moitin ku jedia lo wan big lo kedeng. That's not our culture. On culturally la homestay rule, yeah, ku gem yin wangu ku gem yi wangu ku domdu. So if we are going to practice polygamy, let's do it in a nice way, or in a way that was there before. Then again, why are we even practicing it? Right now we are in capitalistic world, am I a capitalist world, whereby individualism is everything. It's quality over quantity. Now, the kegi mi ge ke kwachi ke bomo ale ka jaga di sharia. Ke sharia ka ben ke latin ke na bilo ke la kororo J1. Well, it no deng len kororo choda kor we wachi we provide life for. Number two, na e men mo jale ka loke kuru. Well, bro lo ke purchula na ke kadang post on social media. So this is where I'm coming from. Not that I do not agree that these people might be practicing polygamy at this point because they perceive it as culture, but I can explain, and I think we have taken a lot of time. Uh,
No, that is good. Quite a good when you can internet way. So I which I know like that you been where to the heart what a good word when you never go microphone go repair. So you went to not as the job, not as a
It's
GenZ,
okay.
but
Yeah,
for nice.
I'm
So
seeing.
but
Yeah, I'm seeing.
different.
Awan Garang is my colleagues at University of Nairobi. I think it's a finalist. So, Awan, yeah, I was mentioning something. Long in Achia, in Yipi, in Kego, Kigloy. So I was actually putting across a point perception, DR, Kujelaro. So kayen these Gen Zs you think I part of the society ku kai dai ku kichol tik ban mi ar ku pya den ke woni anen mention yana lo la mo ni ket ban pya den ke mo ni diar. So everyone will feel like na nong ting tung che jala jora la ka chin ber be lo yin yin ke chang ra ri wir ya ke ting wa ra yang ai ba ken ke tiang nyir. So everyone wanted to be part of that. They are locating within that society. So there is that sense of pride. So these Gen Zs we are seeing are also part of our society. So we should not be blaming them for maybe rebranding themselves to be Y materials. Can be creating be thick. They want also to choose the best out of what is within the society. In ke to le bal lwele ni kana. So nala ben ba ngadi dia ba jam dia ba finalize on the aspect of empowerment. Actually, we need to actually look at the positive part of it and who is supposed to do it. Kimana nye en ka ni dengan kin resources ban ke diar ban ke gumu, then definitely I'll choose to maybe remain with one. Lekira nong ben kok ben ke diar ke mu abdil ti ke diar bi ke. Another thing, NATO maybe Chiman channel when everything is contextual based. NATO in a capitalist society, Chiman Ranto in the Western world, why I think it's not possible. It's not possible. China be dictated by the environment he's in. Definitely, Kakabadila choosing from what is available. I think, looking around in a free society, a communist society. Cuman na lor fan mer ku yo bay ke bay ay diar ke tier ka ke in the same compound. Means they eat from the same pot. Definitely, these kids will grow up not really knowing who are specifically their mothers. But we grow up, can you I meet Karane, they take together. So when you look at it, everything always fits with the context. To in the most important thing. So to finalize, the current generation, let's talk of the Gen Zs. There is a social disconnect. Midwich ake these and they are not growing up can working. Midwich are talking working. Partly, maybe not most time. Can tigalu be jal. Chimana mej much ke tigalu be jal bla korme. Ke mi da blog don't pay. So there is a social disconnect. The non work one meet one to cake deed. But na lo ting ke chol piu de me derot gol ngadi erot gol ke me ngur ko ko. I like watching kid programs. Yen yen ke mi den ke pio. Ani ar ke. Do one dir but ani ar ke sometimes I have go. Na la I think we always say manada ka kawaja yen ka kuchka. But I tend to believe kawaja nyikam. Because ayuk man kawaja nong 7 years, as even from 5 years, a man I need cry kukupiet. These kids can differentiate the two. It definitely it's from the upbringing of this kid. And the first thing you pyramid e yung right ku yung piet. And that's how we were brought up. Kimano na a man titer ko inuan mai to ini lo ngadi ga inyop chin. Definitely na ja chin yo ga nyinya you will not go back there because it is painful. Ikenero loy na lot I remember in my childhood and kima my jakandu. I grew up with my mom most of the time. So it's a lie that they are right ko pio. They are right ko pio. The yenting winter nomtin ka pio man. There were two scenarios ken mama and I realized that I was wrong. One scenario and jipa kuriar way very early in the morning latai. So then I came back late.
I think then actually actually in the morning. People are jamming now. Well, I know question do to the bang the
Sorry.
number. Okay,
Yes,
good.
yes. And Benba, let me finish. Go and do it. The second scenario, you're balonga. My role in the family and me majita. And bungto and majita. Go paj very hell in the morning, one third kujal, lar die wir. And I was a kid. Nala du chien, when my mom did, go to go get your lunch cake, go to go get your the whole day. Actually, I left in the morning. Will have do in the late afternoon. I think at around 2 p.m. So I can go my be, I can go lungi lanya. Then from that point, when by end kupiang tur, I definitely knew there is something. There is going to be a problem, but I couldn't help. I had to face the music, right? So responsibility. Now, no, in case of overload, that is my responsibility. It's my duty.
Even ang issues kin network de.
Yeah, I will do can you know, but yeah, do normal during your turn message. There's another way
GenZ,
from philosopher. A lot, there are a lot of blood from monogamous families who have joined gangs. So when they are practicing JWR activities, all this goes
I
back to parenting.
I do not disagree with that, right? I'm not saying entirely that monogamous families, their children are doing 100%.
Yeah,
But if you compare, they couldn't even them was explaining it.
yeah,
If you compare if you take the statistic between polygamous families polygamous family kujala monogamous family,
yeah,
monogamous family is more likely to do well because number one, means these are within your means, so you are giving them the attention that is required. Kumeda chide nwewe na achido maye piok. Kuna ye piok, I need akor attention mama day ko attention baba day. And if naye monogamous family ke babade ku mamade atin attention to loy diverted attention at all meet can take either. Few cases in monogamous families still could be other factors too. Among other factors, the big meet jalobi, right? Among parenting good, or maybe the parents are rantokali, or maybe meet achin pure. So among other factors, but I was just saying now, well, book because now we are thinking that polygamy, wealth, then we are getting it wrong because what you better it's all communist, well, it's all communal. We are not in a communal setting anymore, right? This is like capitalist world. Even in South Sudan right now, Juba, achira le bijarir kachin with kujepir, right? You have to have with eating. And for you, but with bakora, with kuloyen kora, like you know, no meet get here, get here, will meet get 50, kulwel babete ala kachirotek, and that's where the problem begins from, by the way, because now anon diar chin kibi kek dir, and then I chin kichi kek dir, they will start resenting the husband. The children, on the other hand, they are not getting the attention from the father or from the mothers. Actually, most of the time from the father, because the father now is busy catering for other children to the tea. And then yadang resources are chikeglu, which leads to other children thinking that are chikegniar, but in reality, achen yarichen kegniar are resources kada. And if Naliu, if they are not getting that from their home, what do? They go outside and look for it. And that's where now all you can Nyangarin. So I think I put my point across. And I think point at 50 ngadi question in Elwell Gala investment with K50 or the K50, there's no investment there. If you have money or if you have that time to be there for them, then that's where we can say it's an investment. But if you are just there, common mwananchi kama sisi, and then you want to have 50 children and 50 wives, means that you cannot take good care of. And by the way, these days, your investment mendu education chagamin ku good health chagamin. And education and good health kujala cham what each one kucham I chike you have inchela yap well inchela lui fishing. You have to have money. And for you to have money, you have to work. And if you have 50 children, yeah, we you been catered for all of this. And this is why we say that polygamy does not fit in this modern context. It does not. And for women that are throwing themselves into polygamy, especially the Gen Zs, already yin men think or you have not even realized your full mother tongue interference, full potentials, right? I can't really realized. You don't even know yourself a yin yang, but now you want to go bad drama bala lui join. Yes, a glamorize it anything I will doing it. I will not I don't want to dive into this deep because I do not have experience as to what marriage is or as to what, but this is from what I have observed out there. Yeah, I will twing it, but then when you go to get Ale because you're a very young girl. Yin can be bella, you can you guys are going to have like compete, right? For resources and for attention and all this. So why do you put yourself in this situation when you have the opportunity to better your life? This is what we are saying, guys. And Adit Malay, you have to comment. Jahadi Chajam.
yes, 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 yes. And then welcome back.
Yeah,
You are
thank you.
doing the work.
And we get it when with because the internet is disturbing me. So we will follow, but I'll have to beg your pardon.
Yeah, look at your U-turn message. You
Yes,
got
my final, yeah, my final message.
when we are can it
Kilwell,
Gen
when
Z?
before I was disconnected, and I think there is a social disconnect between us and our children, who are actually the current Gen Zs. So, the most important thing na yiti, right now, Elio. The women are on social media, having long calls on TikTok, doing what? Attending every baby shower or any other events that is happening. So yeah, they can huge myth. So it can the most important thing. So the U-turn message to Nongen, thing the argue right, but we have to contextualize it based on the context to toy in thing. That is the key message. Number two, we wanted to highlight the things that are so important in the current generation. Human empowering girls, what does it requires? Yung ko binyi buke empower today. Uh, Feminism because it's all about fighting for equality. A man can be a feminist, a woman can be a feminist, but it is not a war between men and women. It's not that way. It can matter. Okay, look at the aspect of. I remember there is one scenario ki wo take wo bottle loy. Go good ID chen pande yi nyande. Go kuyo. I need to reserve the name. Na buku go wa chat go wachol because no ran tintung yi. Boku jelwel yin barting pan ki nyan ye yen. Jelwel na ye yin mane ku yok ka yu ku ke ba ke kya ting. Eh? It was a very challenging message. Simply, what does that mean? Basically, like na nang rier, concentrating so much. I may concentrate so much on my in-laws and the society, but memnya concentrate so much on koike the thing, either the mother or the father. So definitely, yen kor below the U-turn message is cái tin này bây giờ mal bên nhà được tiag cái tâm an tin will not last but na cha nhà được cha quen của cha empowered cái lưu của quân nó more important than the wealth. That is the U-turn message. So we should not actually force girls into marriage, or we advocates for early marriage, but we need to advocate for empowerment and to have equity. And another thing, my message to the U-turn team, you may not actually achieve it single-handedly. You also need to bring in men who will also advocate for this, because I know that
Okay, internet were interrupted, but while we wait for whether you can comment or something I fail to understand. Could this community show comprise of people? Like if this, for example, was people would have been here. That is what he's saying. But because now a platform, people are not here. So you did a share with your guru work and where to which which
Really?
which is where the right yeah to learn the right. But this is where our heart and mind is. Now, you go pay on the you ten one get it young. But because yeah, and we are been discouraging and that can go anyway. I don't I, I I don't want to.
beg to leave. Thank you so much for being part of you, and thanks for inviting me to this insightful information. I would love to have contributed so much, but I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Thank you.
No, thank you so much. Your ideas is very clear that the page interrupted the lobby, and many people are happy that you join us. We're doing it, well. We cannot make different alone, so different voices like yours. on this platform need to be constant. And so the U10 will welcome you back again to continue the next discussion on youth empowerment in particular. So,
Thank, thank you. Bye bye. Thank you.
and while bugu dengaram ko ja chola bi ke yin dorka sin ti biara re and ke jam work na Gen Z and in one of Gen Z people. So you bugu yen opportunity ku ba broadway that do you agree can point you could discuss na or you do disagree, you know, kind of Gen Z member of these people. You good go you ko kon you young or non some sense.
Okay, record today on U-turn kujira ko chiben chibijam. Okay, so myself, and I'm meeting a pulling. Okay. Wait, we call that kujala actually contribute today. I've really been quiet because this topic is somehow I can't even do react and ngadi. This is a very very serious topic and a backbone of our community. So it's not easy. It's not easy to discuss it. So purposely I came to learn and yeah. So point ke will ben we are jam ben. These are the points and realities of what is happening today. Even tadale wigla. When it like and madam and TikTok account, but koji talking and I know TikTok on our way and if like the Arab got a lot. Ben bajan you a deal like can't just one time to ne. Yeah, hello, yeah, dear, like no one cage and simply expose. Kaya chan yung mga ni chaka jale ne maybe wan kaya ngai lahat kuna cuman ko lahat buling man le wa ko lahat puro kachin ko be expose man TikTok in pinom tiong it kaya kichiro ja gol man ko ja lahat le kuna yu imbi ruti yo jelo tinu be na dol ko alwi ko men ko kala ko nga support ko ben ke ben so really very hard so political well ben honestly I these are the things that are happening and question the banana that I can ask today. I will not answer, but we shall think about it. Work or die, kuja or not. The question is this thing, young, now you can community today. Man, time doctors day. Kota kairuti. They are always stressed up. Think about their life. Even can kiran lua yode, which num job kineranti. Any stress. In nang duru. Kumin nyir, like what a mean nyir. I think it's ni ta why kiti question de yung miskla yung what is causing that because nothing in most of us I mean today jin gi randa about pidu ang ben bar tiat yi kichinum luwa che but ruti ya yi ga stress up ran ti ka chinum luwa yung why okay when we start we like the man on biru work you will see that na dia men mo jila la india kun mo jila che dia okay why yung yen kan yung yen elu okay so I will not answer attack will answer but I question kaji banan maka now think today in the life that's happening in our community today mana hiting mana i taka ben ni kan ke robe lo mana wa long tiji ke dom lo I remember those years ko it when lo ko ya we gol bi ne ti gen ti ta on media ya lo ingale lo pa ngai lo tung tinga de no ben on media ben apa ya garo na this thing is causing confusion and chaos. I'm telling you the truth. Eh, ben so I don't know how we can say this thing but create ben apa yung okay apa yung kitchen create na ta on social media ya chan biya memories we ka record kay I don't know but the fact remains that this is technology world okay for us Gen Z okay what defines Gen Z that is stand for generation Z is growing up in a world that is full of technology using smartphone, digital stuff, right? And more focusing on their careers. So could engage in Jai identify. They focus on their careers, mostly use of technology and the identity, most of those things are Gen Z to identify today. But as the Gen Z of South Sudan, are we focusing on that? Um, okay, right now, due to the crisis in the country, I know most of them maybe you are lucky your sister is married by someone who is trying and supporting the family, find the bejeweled and they take you to come and stay with them. You find most of them yeah, take a picnic manakiri. Maybe some of them are lost school, some of them are children school. And I think cool ko tire and contact. Kinum chelu akure ro ira pan yan tu pan wulendu. What is your life, Ali? So, and I think most of the things man were that we think those marriages, expensive marriages, people like nye chenko munye lo ka tawa line. Pia na kum man jana a chewelele. Iba un banyo de nye lo nye chen chi chundu ta nye ta. So this thing been a competition can be here no yan no yan doka. A competition because na cha yelo ikran kan lo atken in my house and when they die chana ne loy bang jir ko banyo ma chen ga hunde jir chan nyot wadi nya le ro hunde jir chara so competition um nga chok de na those things ben like there was a time we were discussing about a certain topic with some guys there jogo tilo ku these days intensity kriti ge chwa ben ke critical stuff so one of the guys said okay so no what good these days you get a broke brother, a young man that is struggling. Jalila will struggle with him. Then at the end, he will I will struggle and he will get good job. Then boom, he will marry another wife immediately. Think pia chukwanyi. Maybe in Kenya pandu watching pia chukwanyi. Jele this thing happening. Then you come and struggle with those resources he has got. Jele look at even get broken hearted. Um, jele for me. I think when getting married that man that I struggle and kake really better than because after all you go and struggle with that young guy then after that you will marry and think it happen in the I think and that good it tablet. I thought yeah this thing is happening but I don't have a point on saying. So all these things when man get children near because in around thing no male chan competition inji ngaware wa hindu kwenye ya so being convenient balance peer kuna peer so you not bother about anything. Hallelujah. And that's why we are the idleness the end thing to be to do like this. So idle pan yan pan angol do and everything I by min by na so we don't think about anything. Pinching any plan for your life. Okay, for us we Gen Z generation, our generation is really blessed by the way. One like this use of technology, I know a lot of things, a lot of content, a lot of things that you can create that can really help you to give maybe some money and all those things. But I check ban going because kage ang niya jacket really one day. Okay, yeah, podcast ben it just to get that man that has it all. So uh, this is it. This is it. Engage with there. Community, you go to school and study. It depends how you are brought up, by the way. Because some parents will encourage you to go to school, study, and really do it. But some will just be like, and when you go out there, push yourself, you mess up, then kick over. You have to learn your auntie mom, at all, so you face it alone. Yeah, we'll not talk about the polygamous marriages or monogamy marriages because that are the heck topic and it always defend yes. Okay, the church actually most of us are trying to claim the culture, but like according to our church culture, we claim because yeah, the fact that most of us were not born in South Sudan. Yeah, and sometime I don't know, but these things are real happening. You were not born in South Sudan, but you are always doing continue doing it. Right? I don't know about that. Yeah. So, but the fact remains that these factors they are stubborn. Can I we discuss when they are really causing into that? But kia ja teacher and jerry no. Most of us like in Rapan and Kudu we do Nairobi Kampala. We have access to internet, access to very good smartphone. Like what you just do with it is that watching play plan. There are a lot of online courses now that you can do going to school. Okay, most of us there. Hello, school could think to go on at much event. I don't know how can we say that. Well, we can do that, and it is us in this doing that. So you think most cases I will itu kuli kiro rek I rai kititi. Because after that you interest in one sinner to them to go you go. So my point line waiting there. This thing also I talk be one year when we were young. Konelwala you mo duni dia teacher. Make the children growing up knowing that can buy much when I lay man much tir pan we pan I support everything at all on you. So that's why I stress up they have to do this thing but men ya tell you yeah. Elwala nya then a big one we lord one you do nya then we get given. So ka jadi kinye chindere e bilo ribiji en gati. Yeah. The same way the much wala in ka bia in mo jinti bia mo delu kar mo te yiri mo jengulo they grow up like that knowing at and they have to work it they have to do it then yeah we grow up yeah the very soon every time maybe yeah the boy in him quote because then that's what she has been hearing since she was young growing up yeah so if you see today in think when most of the high school South Sudan, I was reading an article jam South Sudan girls, most of them that finish primary school like at 35%, reaching high school at 12 or 10% that finish high school. So disappointing. So disappointing. Because we go to school just to pass time and wait for the asthma. Especially the Gen Zs that we define as concerning the career and those things. Okay, when it come to this thing of maybe those they want to marry money wife. Yes, because they can afford them. Some people even marry when they cannot afford them, and they marry. They marry them. Kujenge jela nyoro nyolde. Jeke ne jela kwany na inyano kowara mukuru kaje yikwany jeke mit kujege ga jeke kwany. This is what is happening in polygamy marriages, reality. Yes. So chen kan mila jala diara kana jala anyidisu kaja lui runtai rori popando. So it is something that is reality. There's nothing we can do about it. So what I can just say but later ke kwai mini to that I generation one in pan yan kulu maybe in kila sukuli nye bin la jaran ke sukula ke tukuli wa ku then kaya you can learn a lot of things. Ile baca ini nyan kudin baca leri makana or teaching you how to bake, how to do what those skill and utilize them. We have to survive. Okay, Achira to get that man that is capable, that is a leader, that can do it all. But in this generation that we are in, anything can happen, and there is that gap in life whereby everything when we achieve each around there. Then we channel to buy and survive for some good days. This life, everything you need, yes. Okay, I assume Run City has got everything, yes. Maybe I live in Anki, Blue area or Blue Yende. So how do you put your life and your children life? That's another. So could GenZ's life, okay, now I think the kaji is as done man another thing have changed, but I what you could gam. When I was young, those days, this salvation, man, any age and if you had to live, reality, a lot were not there. But a lot are changing. I don't really understand it deep for you. But you like think I you gam can change, but we don't change the reality that in this Gen Z generation, there should be support from every corner, right? And it's really hard. I don't know how will I say it, but this generation girl that are here now that have access to technology, access to electricity, Wi-Fi, everything that was not there. So what are we using? What are we doing with the smartphone that we have? What are we doing with our life? So that we are discussing culture actually, right? So one of the most important thing. That's why in our marriages today, they must be mark big pioneer and they dance and kigege loike because a part of our culture. Ngajo de ke and man him dogan to school de lebanon yeah ben man just that kida tan yar tan ba yeah ji ba gar ko make a post but I like them my free time because when I put a song but in culture time local put dear like I feel relief and a lot of things. So it's right. But what are we doing for our life as a Gen Z generation because that have a lot of things that our parents did not have. Technology, a lot of smartphone, laptop, excess electricity, Wi-Fi. Yung loy who cake for our life. That's it. So these marriages we don't align today, like maybe hele marriages of it. Though point ethical development management garang jamban they are contributing to a lot of them. But kina kwa ino nyandu man. So what are you going to tell your girl? But picking man they will Daniel as a girl for herself that she's strong and she can do like the way her brother can do. Because whether we want or not, it is changing. Life is changing. Life is changing, and we okay for me. Kind of Dorcas, the world that I always see and imagine that if it happened in South Sudan for the girl is seeing those capable mothers that can train their children, that are capable to raise their daughters to be those great leaders that can speak like the women are speaking today in the leadership. Having those strong mothers that can support their families, can support the husband when they are down. Okay, like the feminism thing that we say in our community today, there's nothing that we want seeing ourselves as ladies also strong financially with the leadership skill and everything. That's what we need because this is what the generation need actually. Yeah. Being capable that if your man is down, can you support your family? That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we need. If we're not in, while we are together with the culture, to be able to support our men when they are down, support our parents, support those that cannot, just like the way men are doing it. That's how I do it. But we are not leaving the culture behind. We are not because it's our identity. We are not leaving things that make us happy behind. But what are we doing with our life? Okay, why are we focusing on that more than for our life? As the Gen Z that is having access to everything that our parents did not have. Okay, actually about mentorship. This is reality, by the way, and that's why U-turn is here. Another initiative will also be there. Um, having that platform, that is space that will always bring. Okay, one there. Those old ladies used to talk to the young one. There. Okay, one. They can talk based on the life of that time. Life at that time one. Bapa and take care of your children because that's what they used to do. I think Sukulita, Chin Muta, but right now they cannot tell us again because their life is different with our life or agencies. So in actual this generation, what are you going to be telling her? Is to go to school and study right. She have to pursue her career, her goals, and all those things. So having a mentorship session or center that will bring us together. This time, Kachi, our mother did not go to school and the life that has changed. Our coach on way that will sit down with our mothers, tell us that this is the life and how we can cope up with it. As this with this current generation, yeah, this current lifestyle. Though Majamo Sudan, still a lot of things are really going on. And kwa jagari any mganjati, Madina jarianum, Pirba jarianum. That's why the demon bele urman jamo. Madina rinum, Pirba rinum. It is really a lot is happening. So with this generation that is having access to everything, what are we doing with our life? The culture is not bad, yes. Culture is not bad because it is really good and to give us pleasure. They're good. But for our lives, what are we doing? So I will not talk about the marriages and those things. So I'm just focusing on us, the Gen Z.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, Dorcas. Will be with DT. And Michael Gakir, Shukran Chantawo, and thank you so much for your feedback. Then Garangin Tingin Dai Ping, you comment. Thank you for that. And so many people we call philosopher, yeah, intimacy. Kunting abaga jala kwen in detail chan jala show jala ko bajala respond. But I am happy for your participation, for your contribution to this great topic. Now you need to ben to the U-turn show today. Kakari jam walk a glamorize early marriage and polygamy, and we had great representation on the U-turn walking on. Then quick economists and youth advocate we the same economy. So we were talking, comparing, what they are doing from cultural perspective to, to economic realities of today world. And what can Gen Z representation to jam and the door cascade man for the long perspective Gen Z by so we can ping and but just summarize before ban and Mike Bell, share 1 minute you 10 missing the will could all can be 1 minute you 10 missing the will could do show to the ping achi en ke bi topping ni al so lo share we ko cha non walk on gas den garanga chi topping but chi jam ping so no ko the message de la yoala from the very beginning of the conversation very important because big ping to gen walk and well. So kita ping so we were comparing this, glamorizing, branding of this polygamous marriage and early marriage, especially for young girls. And actually, I came up with this hypothesis that, the Gen Z, this meeting were this from 97 until 2012. You think, where they, I just think Gen Z, other countries, Kenya. Gen Z, for example, Kenya, they are leading political rallies. These are the people that are calling the government to account, to the wishes of the future. With Gen Z, South Sudan, especially South Sudan, working up and at the verge of collapse, or it has already collapsed economically, politically, and socially. Things are going wrong. But Gen Z, long you think, ka wai ka chuk a big jad ra ya on the TikTok te ka jir ka nyin yu ka chen mana akir le ka inbox ka ro ta ge ro ti kwat ka juba big la kot that is what she's seeing in ke a chiel ke ran da ya tio ke ni Gen Z a young person on this platform and then Gen Z karuria. So I worry can aka page ko nang chin kang or the Arab ta ko nang ka ka lo nang dia nang chin kang ya because nang dia ta you tung de and you talk do you are working really hard day and night. What we can go kurur kwa wan what because I want you well. So kan more Gen Z instead we ya focus on productive thing ka boy and go hey a call Philip I like Daria. How are you sweetheart you are beautiful. Beautiful man, beautiful and mama. Don't say that again. I responded, and to be honest, I have said that a few times. Young people reaching out to me and complimenting me, and I the next day I was no record. So so Gen Z, they are ready, they are going out of hand, right? They should be focusing, be dreaming big, or even, calling political rallies in South Sudan. And because our young people will can only be effective more than we are called rallies, John. Kimanwa Gen Z Kenya, we are big movement because young people like a pink, one meet and the so in cake I pause this. And then so what we have narrow down along this issue now of surviving strategies they are doing, like with the top the all women and single women. Kuja ni theater non polygamous men and one of my friend actually watched Ladina, one of dictator got in Kenya. So she's a cousin day. That it's a colleague there go cousin the go I linga because I shababa youth so kono mon tinke le bia le na for nyan wande the kali bia good man go yok le nyante you have a colleague here and he's searching and I think he can be a good date no me go nyan go ti ku le chi ti go tor nyan go le no kin ti ka young man kala and the very young people I need people with experience and money. So that is a real life story. So I agree with Akia that these young Gen Z, they want soft life. They want men with no experience. They know how to deal with women, and they have money. They can provide them really good. And so they don't want the young people. And the young people have accepted that. They don't want even they don't want them either. Most of the time, they would go for big girls so that they can benefit. So life is hard. So there is cultural aspect to that. There is, social pressure, of course, being promoted online, and of course, there are deep economic issues that are affecting our people and causing social change. Of course, Akia is refusing any cultural aspect and agree with social pressure and economic challenges to poverty on the ground. Achi Dorcas, achi Bebendo, she agree ke Gen Z person, achi Lui agree, that it is happening. So what has been said by Denga Kwachi, Guru your perspective, the Maru Jola Ruti. Actually, Ruti, they are better than Yuti. La Yuti right now, you Tom Dirki, Sukulumana, Tom Loka, Kitin but now plan do banang agenda do acha here ban most here banang agenda do the pidu without motive in the picture acha talking here and that needs a U-turn, and that is why we are here on the U-turn platform advocating big here big now agenda is and personally and I post about it I know yinya is a post banang agenda do pidu because even cuman kichi brothers and chicken well na chicken well in the comment section I'm bringing a myth after mother. So mothers need to be empowered. Like you need to be really, really strong mother to bring up, good kids. But if we are, getting into marriage, we will raise our children who are broken up quickly. And so that's why this conversation is important. We have choices, we have options, but there are other ways that we can empower ourselves. And so, and to summarize a bit, but I want to give you this opportunity to watch now 3 minutes left, you show here. By your U-turn message, by Jalo on this topic. And then after that, the door has a U-turn message that well, kuna ira and that in a video can you know keep U-turn. I suppose but bara hair stuff thing planning or bara kaka pidu bagala but entering for purpose. So say your U-turn message in the comment section to look book by knowledge anyway. Actually,
Oh, okay. Wait a gig more. So we're quite kadang we Gen Z's to beat, this is out of love, guys. I chin ran we wake attack, and the reason as to why yen water baby up to book ben be watch a run go ben when could not run garan when kanoka gig tiran getting period. Not necessarily to glue happen to you, but quite close to you, and you know what this one will lead into. Okay, and we Gen Z's, a full life ahead of you, a beautiful one for that. And for you to just cut it short because of immediate or quick fix money or quick fix wealth, whatever that is, which is not wealth, by the way, Janna Berkul wealth, already define ala Kabila till. It's not worth it. Put your mind into something positive. You guys are very lucky. We're on uncles go in America. We're on uncles go in Juba. We're on NGOs, on scholarships. We're on refugee camps, non free education. Uh, you guys are not waiting to work, and because you guys are lucky, put your mind into something being will develop, especially as a girl. As ke ine menya loy rod ke because a marriage is yen we kalotine abelui okay. Achi belui backfired because you will try to keep the face. That in kor bapandu mu batting bamitu bagamu because in chikurbaja because you have no choice. And this is what we are trying to prevent. our moms, or majority of, or their moms, our grandmothers or our moms. If you sit down, can a majority of them today, or 80%, if I'm not lying, will come. Uncanny statistic I can jalo balwel ba research balo will quantify, but this is based on what I have heard from a lot of them. They will tell you, maybe if I had a chance, I will better my life. They will tell you, maybe if I had a chance, I would have left this marriage. But because Mityacha called back one, because Yin Kuchadit, by the way, Yin like a wounded hero, like you are disabled, partially disabled. You cannot make a decision without thinking about Mendun Chabe. And because you guys now are making those decisions of you just want quick fix, these quick fix are betook with time. Not even with time. Okay, just for sure. I'm sure you guys are suffering low key. You just have the iPhone that you cannot put credit on it. You have a address that you cannot Tilibabelwe purchase miracle or yeah. So you guys, I know, will we suffer in the background. They just face kayakata on social media. So why do you put yourself into that? I'm not discouraging marriage. Marriage is a beautiful thing, but work for something Kibenin Konaran or Konrad Jadid Awel Bakondir Nachadir, and you are sure that you can handle the marital or marriage pressure. Kayin Jelotin. Nacha Kondir up to Bani Yungukor Kidu in Jelo. Jakadun Korbalo Baloi. I don't know nanong koi dir koi kakolaping because I chaping what will ya chewa kor bikim ni take big riding because of 1 2 3 a chira ring okay. We quite toten we're quite toten we quite the toten I know shirkata nong doing when you think kujam ke kujala go down or whatever. This is what I have to say. Quite agum before and people did not die. And because now dear Pioke Tao, it's not even Guam because I think Guam di talk I think right now compared to Kra Guama and Chinga Gumtiti. Dear Pioe and Kachetao and then Kubikatao Menyako. A chiding a chill when Kra de Kalu Menyandu. A day a dekachi Kagati Kagwen Katia right now, the Kachiki. So just empower your girl, empower your generation. Bogi Kegalwe compare can in Yirko Chenke, Tidir Ken Chenke and all that. Natural auntie are well and good indeed, well and good. It cannot be everyone, okay? Chamit Koncha Kekalo school it, or Maliza Shule, they will do wonders. And I think too, Akwal, Kujaladi, I think we have a task, and that's to put ourselves outside there. Like normally, an 8 year old outside, and still I'm shy, and I feel like I shouldn't be out there. I think I have imposter syndrome. I feel like I'm not good enough or something. But I think we should put ourselves outside there because the representation as to what success or as to what a woman is, it's totally different. Because if you see right now, coil will kick weird how coil will kick how to buy your private part, but yeah, work, work, and so that you can attract a man. It's gross, I know. These are the koi to 10K representation of success are koi success they may be large KFC, could chicken, could bill are out. Those are just but part of part of basic things. Those are basic things. Let's redefine what success is and let's look at bigger picture and use your internet wisely. Am I in social media? Get kadang learn from social media. We're very lucky generation. Learn, lower out upgrade. I am talking like this and I'm very emotional by the way because I have siblings who are Gen Zs and like it's my prayers that they turn out good and other Gen Zs to turn out good. It's my prayers that they don't throw themselves into these marriages and thinking that life they have right now is good enough. I think Iran you kitchen guam. So what I will say here last U-turn age is a quick fix in life. If you want something, work hard for it. And a man is not a key to success for you. It might be for few individuals, but not for everyone, especially in a young girl. You don't have an idea what they want from you. It's not Bibilwe upgrade. Yen kor na min. E bala lwe upgrade, bala give meat. That's it, meat beautiful. Kulu yin keep low key. That's it, for sure. So yin put you before everything, and that's what I would say. And now Penda, tutakutana TikTok. I think I will come back again with my the Dangala. I'll see.
Thank you, I think about the Dorcas, really your U-turn message for yeah, over time, but very important by your last advice down. And then show we are
Okay, I think we are ready for like you guys discuss. So, okay, here what German then. You learn again like change how things have changed. Jala chuku tingman jam mo but a book realize in our life. Yes, the life have changed and the way things are done have changed, and we need as a Gen Z generation, like we really are. Okay. Nothing anyone of us we have trouble. You see in Kenya, Rwanda, in Uganda, you find these young people here struggling, trying their best because they have seen life have changed in their country. And the uncles that we need to support us, like for them, the uncles no longer support them because I can get their way. Uh-huh. But for us, one would all we get support by our uncles, our sisters, our like those that are supporting us. So that's why you want to go in South Sudan. One would work in big life realize. Because one would want no. Molani wa nyan kege. Yeah. Could do Gen Z do I can work and I no they're chin. They are on their neck, right? So we shall learn the hard way. By the time Kegman Kayiner ko Bulan ko Kanyara ko chia can get Joria. Mit kana dira bla sukuli ku sukula benga expensive, benga expensive. Kabia can get Jora wabuni pinya no putting bulo our life in the hard way. Yeah, so that I can say. But the fact remain using the opportunity that is in our generation today, like things have changed. Like man, people are talking about AI, artificial intelligence. It was not there, but now in 5 years, the 5 years from now, even did the log no content so it's up to the Gen Z to learn and see something they're interested into. So I don't know what you can say. Because man, more to man like man people be like you can, but this is the fact and period of and which one I'm feeling. So it's okay if you got that man that will do your best. We're happy for you, and that's okay. But the Gen Z generation needs support from both of us because things are becoming expensive every day that no one cannot manage alone like this. And a lot of factors that happen in our life, parent that happen in our need us to support our partners and support our parents, even our own life because life is children one. I remember when I was young, I last school and my dad used to give me £1, but it is no longer that £1 thing that can add the value to my life now. I knew a lot of things. So even if you are in blessed, you know what I'm going. So they are supporting you. Make sure you try the chance to get some skill. Let them support you with the skill. That when they are not there to defend you in your life, you defend yours. Chakualewa that in your 20s, learning the skill and investing the skill. And that's it.
Thank you so much. And I can cover the a very strong U-turn message. And which I can let you coach U-turn message on Jack in the comment section. I really, really love U-turn message. I got in my beer. Yeah, my beer. Now again, I appreciate it, and I will post it on the U-turn page. Yeah, it posts itself a very strong U-turn message on this topic. I love it. My U-turn message man ne chena da sha de cha gol to ke long we know ko wo you know be right now I know the value of culture in our community. Everything create better culture, Right now, young people are into preserving the culture. I love culture myself. And in Canada, I don't know cultural attires. Human nature and dengaran kuyelwe. Culture is expressed in different way in songs, in dressing, in so many things. So I love culture, but I also love to be open-minded to understand global culture. Where is the world going, right? Right, while we are going back to our culture, then the world is going to the mass. There is this something called climate change. Pinyama bedeu. You got a Bible wrapping every year. Very true. Climate change is real. Now, la pinyam le deu mia. Go a bedeu and culture doing. To chen we when him liep. Ku back ro juir because na le mass you gonna life. Quite a PA to gonna who migrate to mass. And but think it value if in polygamy here and culture, your 50 children. I can get into generational wealth. Where will they get money to buy to book a ticket to fly to Mars when people are flying to new planet because this planet are down much because of climate change? Okay, question ka could back a here. Well, question China Dorcas well, what are right now in the fifth industrial revolution? No matter fifth industrial revolution. Well, okay, what can charge your agrarian revolution go why South Sudanese? What is like number one, I think which are there, right? What they were poor or too many in the villages. We don't know how to make cheese from cows for UK. All those things. We don't know how to utilize, our natural resources, our cows. So there is so much that we don't know. And people are talking about AI and robotics and how humans can cooperate with technology, to survive and get it all working. So you really keep our culture is good, but where Gen Z also open your eyes to where the world is going, where Gen Z our community. I know technology right now has opened so many learning avenues. And of course, this fifth industrial revolution and what okay, your attention economy. And even content creators, this attention economy now, many followers you can actually put in a country when you can make money from it. The problem now, South Sudan is a favorable country. And that's why I tell you, let's start with the basic. Let empower ourselves, book our country, book only bread. So that we can even leverage this technology platform to our own benefit. So then are you content creators? And chairman, but Ben doing on the TikTok, so that the followers back you, so that but now we'll look a hand. That is business, that is entrepreneurial mindset. Like it's not like you are pretending you like culture. Well, there are many people who are faking life online to get money. So if you guys are there online faking things that in traditional white, you like the culture, to get followers, so that many you get followers who monetize, who you work with it, bin ka pi bin ka min kuta school, bin ka pi do shopping, bin ka you do invest in future, please go for it. That I love that. You can, but do it case strategy. That's when you need to business strategy. You need to attend U10 conversation to learn about tools on how to even do that business effectively. This attention economy is for all of us to grab. We're lucky people. You have so many resources out there that you can utilize. But even a local way of life, right? That you just do it for fun. I can get your thing, I can and you are wasting your time. Then you realize you will wake up tomorrow and you realize you can't enter alone. When you are where we don't want you go back and do last, go and waste your time doing things that are not adding value to you. So my U10 message to you, young people, which I said before, for both young boys and girls, is that focus on building yourself. Stop reaching out to these single mothers now, 20 children. Like, how do you feel, being in that relationship? Very strong. So that Bajala Louis cheat on him because he cannot even achieve responsibilities and come with Louis fulfill get job can go right because I think like 90-year-old man have been jala because of Like that disgusting. You need well nowhere in the run when you think that you don't need to go around, but you need bagala fulfill from outside. So I'm talking from experience. I know some people who make poor decisions into relationship that they are not fulfilling. And right now they are frustrated and they are doing wrong things in their marriages. And that's why I come to you, my young sisters, who no, take your time, no pressure. I will wait in the in the either GTA or kill it in the so it is better about the opinion now you know, when you empower yourself, rewrite. We rewrite. I don't when the lean when or think the lean. Even now you move sulu kaku, right? You kalo, you rot like you know young man, future do young and the behind the community do but representative. So know yourself. Don't rush. Don't rush. I think blind to the opinion then very young and in dumb and stupid. So in get level, well, my last message. I didn't want to go there, but sometimes I get emotional when I see young people. I wish then get this even by Gen Z. Oh my goodness! By now I will be doing different things. But I'm catching up. I'm catching up, and I'm happy to see Dorcas. They have already started. I'm going to advocacy. They're golfing. But in Dorcas now, the future is very bright. And so your future is bright too. So take this opportunity. And thank you again, Inachi, for contributing very strongly to this topic. Thank you, Dorcas, for contributing strongly to this topic. And thank you, Den Garangwe, in my favorite colleague, for being part of this conversation. We will come back again to touch these things and talk about things that take us forward. Pinta lejin ya mabio kuweka gale jiban work out in the comment section. Like comment, like share, and let this message reach people. That I think the man who want their culture, want their everything. We just want our culture be relevant to the global culture, and that is why we're here to help each of us make a U-turn in the right direction. Feedback are you welcome? No way. Now, no, you have to think of it there to the U-turn. Cái back your topic back your ideas back your well because together we will create impact. So a platform that can work there. So now can work. Happy Hester holidays. We book a job and thank you, my ladies. Now can work. Bye bye.